What are you guys doing?
I enjoy children. Hi guys, welcome back to another medification video. Today we'll be going through how to answer the interview question of what you learnt from your work experience.
Okay, so Vikram, hello.
Hi.
I will be interviewing you today. This is about work experience, and I'm sure you've taken part in work experience to make sure that this
Absolutely,
is
yeah.
the career for you. So, could you tell me a bit about your work experiences?
Yeah, so I have got a broad range of work experience in the medical field. So I've actually been working in a hospital for the past 2 years for various roles. So I did portering. I'm sure you're aware of what that is. So I went around the hospital. So I do have experience in various wards and the requirements that they need from other departments in the hospital. So it wasn't a clinical role, but it gave me a good insight into what is required inside the hospital. And then recently, so for the past 12 months or so, I've been working inside medical records. And that's been really enjoyable. It's been fun to work there, and it's like the file room for me. So it's been really engaging there. I've learned a lot of stuff about the hospital. I've learned like loads of different departments I didn't know existed, and I learned interesting stuff. Like, did you know in the RBH that cardiology was the first department to go paperless? I think that was quite an interesting fact I learned, and it shows to me the development that's happening in medicine right now.
So you talk about the things you've learned, and it's great that you've learned stuff from your work experience. Could you elaborate on this and explain like exactly what these things that you've learned are and how that could be applicable to being a doctor?
Yeah, so I have shadowed a consultant before in St Bart's in London, and I learnt quite a lot because I was with him for an entire week. So we did all kinds of stuff. So met loads of patients, and the way I was inspired by the way he spoke to patients and talked with them and just did all the kinds of stuff. And he was such a cool guy. It really inspired me to want to pursue a career in medicine because I was uncertain before that, and meeting doctors who are really cool and stuff has really helped me decide that it's the career for me.
Okay. Is there anything else you would want to add to your points?
Yes, I've also done more work experience. So I don't know if it's counted, but I've also done work in a vet, work experience in a veterinary.
That's good,
So I have experience with animals, which I'm sure would come in help if I was to go and pursue a career in pediatrics, because kids are like animals in a sense. Because Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Thomas.
Hello. So, hello, Thomas. And as you're aware, I'm sure you've done some work experiences to make sure that this is the career for you. So, could you tell me a bit about this work experience and what you've learned from it?
Yeah. So I've done several work experiences to try and get more of a realistic understanding about medicine. So I've done 2 weeks of work experience in a hospital in both cardiology and orthopedics. But I also do weekly volunteering at a nursing home where I take my dog to the residents. And I think from those 2 pieces of work experience, the main thing I learned from it was the importance of communication skills in the healthcare world. So I saw, for example, in one case specifically in my orthopedics, a lady came in with severe knee arthritis, and the doctor didn't actually understand completely why she had that knee arthritis, and she was quite young, which is quite uncommon. And she was just in complete tears and crying. And I think that what I mainly learned from that is sometimes how important it is just to sit and talk with a patient. And I think it broke that facade that doctors know everything. So really just sitting down with the patient, empathizing, giving her some tissues. And at the end of the consultation, she felt more at ease. And that illustrated to me the importance of trust between the doctor and the patient. And I saw how it really put her at ease. And I think that's something I learned, also like the importance of empathy and how a doctor can be relatable to the patient. I think another thing I learned from my work experience, especially in the hospital, was teamwork. So I was lucky enough to attend an MDT meeting, so a multidisciplinary team meeting, and I got to sit and see how there was different supportive healthcare workers, from radiologists to surgeons, and they were discussing and trying to give different ideas how to form this most effective plan for the patient. And I think that illustrated to me as well, linking in communication and other skills like competency and empathy. It also illustrated how important it is to work as a team, and it is important to have leadership skills, but being able to get along with other members of the team, that illustrated to me the importance of my work experience when it came to medicine.
Okay, thank you very much. Is there anything else you would want to add?
I just wanted to elaborate on maybe my work experience at the nursing home. So I said I bring my dog, and that's something else that illustrated me like the importance of talking to the elderly people and like getting their wisdom and knowledge from them. So I bring my dog, and seeing that kind of pet therapy, and that's something that's quite interested me, and I've seen some articles on that. So how pets can, like, for example, help children with autism and maybe make people open up a little bit more, and seeing how the difference when I didn't bring my dog and bringing my dog, seeing how people were more likely to talk, and it made them feel more at ease. And I think it's important in the medical world to be able to provide different a range of things that can best provide the best patient care.
Okay, thank you very much.
No problem. Nice to meet you.
You too. So a moment ago we witnessed a good example and a bad example, and they were very clear in which one was good and bad. There are a few things that I would suggest that you take on board before your interview, and things that you can think about. So I'll start off with the bad example and the thing that they could have improved. If we realise there was very fast talking, and the person I was talking to, the person I was interviewing, seemed very worried, and it's best if you come off as more confident, but not overly confident at the same time. So if you realise with my second one, he introduced himself very well, he smiled, and he shook my hand, which was very important in giving your first impressions, because those are the things which count. And the second thing I wanted to move on to was the fact that there were rhetorical questions coming towards the interviewer. It was almost undermining their knowledge as to the medical field, and that's not a good thing to do, because they are very experienced, and generally these are doctors who have years of experience and they work every day, and they are practicing doctors. And so don't undermine the doctor. Don't ask them if they are aware of the changes, and if you're in certain cases, they may be the person who applies for an audit and caused that change to happen. So they may be very knowledgeable as to that, and it might come across as arrogant. And also, I would say that it wasn't clear from the camera angle, but the person I was interviewing had shaky legs, and that's not good, because it makes a sound, and it can be off-putting for the interviewer as well. And finally, as we said in our previous video, it's not the amount of experience you have, and it's what you've learned from it, and that's what we're trying to nail down on, and that's the key message I'm trying to get across, because I mean, there were so many experiences he listed, but it wasn't important because he hasn't learned anything from it. There's no applicable skills he talked about. On the other hand, if we looked at the good interview, we saw that the work experiences were very focused on the best experiences that he could think of, and he signposted very well, talking about communication and teamwork, which he later elaborated and linked in empathy. And that's probably the best way to tackle these questions. Always signpost, have a very clear structure, and know exactly what you're talking and how the skills apply to medicine itself. And another bonus, which you don't have to do, but it will be very good if you can, is that he linked in an article as well, which shows that you do extra reading and you're actually genuinely interested in this career. So thank you for watching our video, and please don't forget to subscribe, like and share.
With all three of your friends.